That was a huge gulp, guys. How's it going, everyone? Today is the third day, or maybe fourth day, into our heat wave here where I live in near Edmonton. And so I just got home from work, and I was thinking, you know what? I'll probably do some. Jeez, scared the crap out of myself with my own voice. I just got home from work, and I thought maybe we'll do some work outside, but then I was like, no thanks. I don't want to die. So here we are. Just want to say hi to everyone. How's it going? How are you doing? And what's going on? I want to show you this real quick. I made this yesterday. If you ordered a frog, I started frog commissions yesterday. And this is one that I made. It kind of looks like a toad because he's kind of warty, but I tried to make him look like a bullfrog. So if you ordered a bullfrog specifically, this is for you. And I will email you pictures shortly. And if you like it, I will send it out to you. So he turned out pretty cool. Frogs are, for some reason, they seem hard for me to do, but I think he turned out okay. I've only made one frog before, and it was like a small guy. But yeah, this one's kind of cool. I like him anyways. So I didn't make a video or anything about this, but I will put it on my Instagram. The contest. We're having a contest to win the print of the month, next month's print of the month. That's coming up soon. It's going to be the Janis Joplin. No, sorry. No. It's going to be to win the print of the month that was, I guess you could say, donated. One of the patrons didn't want it, and she didn't pick something else. So she said, just give it away or do whatever you want with it. And I was like, okay, we'll use it for this contest. So we're going to do the edit giveaway contest. It's going to be another vlog number 126. I said it was going to be the gate vlog, but unfortunately, Armando is leaving. It's too hot to go foraging. Like the heat wave plus the forage heat it's just too uncomfortable. And he's leaving for like 15 days or something like that. So I'm not going to have access to the forage necessarily. I'm sure he would let me use it, but I'm not going to, So I'm not going to be able to finish the gate. So vlog number 126 is actually going to be something else. And maybe I'll start filming that tomorrow. So do an ice cream making video? That's a good idea. I don't know how to make ice cream though. I guess I'd have to figure it out. I've had, like, when you go to those places, here it's Fort Edmonton Park. It's like a historical whatever. And they make ice cream. So I made it there, and I never got to try it, which is so weird.
Linda Day asked if the frog would be okay in the garden.
Is it hers?
No. But, I think if she had one, would it be okay in the garden?
Oh. Most of my sculptures that are made out of metal, so Linda Day asked, just in case you didn't hear Ashley, if this would be okay in the garden. Yeah, it will rust. I mean, this one's clear coated. It will rust, but so what? I mean, it's just made out of scrap metal. A lot of it is rusty already. Hey, Ashley Lane, thank you very much. She didn't say anything, but she sent $9.99. Thank you.
Everyone.
It seems like a lot of people are actually having a heat wave where they're at. Prince George, BC, 38 degrees. It was only 36 here.
Today.
So you're a little warmer. 32 in Ontario. Too hot and humid. It's way more humid over in Ontario than it is here in Alberta. But lately it's been pretty humid. I feel like I'm starting to sweat. Just sitting here.
Just starting.
The sun was not here when I first decided maybe I'll sit here. It wasn't here before, but now it's coming and I can feel it. Oh.
Do we have AC in the house? Asks Elizabeth.
We don't have AC, and we're not going to get AC. One, it's expensive. Two, we're making some changes to the house in time, and it would be such a shame to have it hooked up and then having to move it. And three, it's not this hot for very long. It's only going to be for a week, and then it'll go down to like 30 and lower. So it'll be fine. Usually Our typical temperatures are around 20 to 26, 27-ish. So we don't have to worry about super extreme heat that often. And we're not in the house often enough for it to even matter during the day. At night, it's still hot, but like, I don't know, you just open up the windows. We got the fan going, and like, I don't know, at night it's probably like what, like 16 or something? I don't even know.
It's like 21 right now.
Oh, 21 at night?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Elaine says she shared the live on the Curiosity Fanatics page.
Oh, thank you. Who was that?
Elaine.
Elaine? Thanks, Elaine. Okay, another thing I wrote down some notes so that we would, I would cover everything during our heat wave talk here. Postcards, we still have those. We're still going strong. I just want to let you guys know we got an email that hey, Bradley Wood, thank you very much, my man. So, for those of you who don't know, when we sell these, we put that money aside to go towards our floor. It's not necessary, and we don't expect anyone to do it, but we do appreciate those who want to be a part of that, and you get something that's cool. So I'll show you these while I explain what happened. So this first set here, this is Ashley's set of postcards. Well, I got this one upside down. Right? They're blank on the back. You can use them for anything. You don't have to use them for postcards. You can just use them for, sending them as a get well card, as a birthday card. We used one of these for a birthday card. That's hilarious.
And I think we used one for Mother's Day too, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, we got an email just a little while ago saying that so for those who don't know the story, we ordered a floor. Here's my set. This is what our floor looks like right now. Okay? Oh. They're not in order. And this is the floor we're getting. Kind of. It's a reclaimed, they call it colonial plank. Anyways, we ordered it like how many weeks ago?
Well, like at least a month.
At least a month ago. Okay? We had to put half down. We sold around $800 worth of these, so that helped a lot. So we still owe another $3,000 and some. We paid $3,500, and we owe $3-ish, whatever. Anyways, we just got the email saying, "Yo, your floor is on the way." So pretty soon, and this is the mix set. Pretty soon, we are going to have our floor. Our floor delivered to the store, I guess, and geez, all of these are in to the store, and then we can pick it up, and then we can start acclimating it to our home, and then we can install it. So that's exciting. When they say, "Hey, it's going to take 12 weeks," you kind of forget about it, and like that's why I haven't been telling you guys about these. I don't know, I just forgot about it, and whatever, things move on and whatnot. Oh yeah, and if you get all three, you get this one. Almost forgot to show you this one. Anyways, I forgot about it because 12 weeks, that's like 3 months or whatever. But whatever, they order it from. So what they do with the floor that we picked out is that they've reclaimed it from an old tobacco drying factory. I say factory because when I say plant, which is more accurate, I would say, it sounds like tobacco plant, like the thing that grows, the plant. Mm-hmm. But anyways, they have this plank flooring, and the walls and whatever else, and they decommissioned this plant or whatever, and they've decided that this wood is too good to let go to waste. So what they've done is they've taken out all of the good wood, all the beams, all the floors, all the walls, everything, and they've reprocessed some of it for different things. The beams are still beams, and the floor, they've reprocessed it to be like regular tongue and groove floor. Hello, Matthew. Thanks for moderating, my man. And it's like random plank. You can get wide planks, skinnier planks, different lengths, and different species. Anyways, we really like that look, so that's what we've ordered. And it's coming from...
Did you say Pennsylvania or like...
It's coming from somewhere in the south. Is Pennsylvania in the south? I don't even know.
Virginia?
Virginia, that might sound better. That sound more accurate. I can't remember where he told me they were getting it from. But anyway, it's on its way, which is so awesome. I don't know how long it takes to get here, but pretty freaking exciting. And this is kind of hilarious. We just looked it up. Oh, frick. We forgot to see how much we raised off of these. But it's over $800 now. Before it was $800 and we sold a whole bunch more. But if you would like to buy one of these, they're $20 a set. And if you buy two or more, they're $25 a set. Unless you get more than one, then they're $20 a set. And if you get three, you get the bonus card. Anyways, I forgot to look up how much we actually got, which thank you everyone who has. But we only need to raise, how much? $120. 120. Well, we don't need to raise it, but it's funny how we only have a remainder of $123.
Yeah.
123. We need to save up $123 more that are allocated directly for the, like, because we're doing a budget. We're growing up. It's so weird being an adult where we're like, okay, so this is going to be for the groceries, and this is going to be for that, and this is for gas, and then this is for the floor. What? Who buys a floor? That's so weird. Anyways, check today, and it's only $123, which is 1, 2, 3. That's funny. Josh, will you be able to smell the tobacco in the floor? I actually don't know. I don't know if that's... I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's like 100 and some years old. How old is the United States? 200 and some years old. It could be up to that. It could be up to that old. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I imagine there might be some residual smell. Tobacco doesn't smell bad, so that wouldn't be a problem. But I'm sure, like,
they're processing it for homes, so they must do something that...
They probably do, because, like, they remill it. Because right now it's just planks that are just butted together, right? They're gonna mill it so that it has like a tongue, or a groove, and then a tongue. So just like regular hardwood flooring. Adulting can be hard but rewarding. Yeah, it's funny how, like, the older I get, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to go get milk. Like, it's so weird to me, like that.
Like hoeing the garden.
Yeah, we hoed the garden last night.
Yeah.
So, here's something. People were wondering why Ashley picked all the garden weeds by hand. And that's because there were so many of them, and we found that last year when I hoed one garden bed and she picked them all by hand, we had to deal with the weeds a lot less in the garden that she did. So, what we're trying to do now, she already picked them all by hand, now we hoed them to get rid of it, because what we want to do is have, like, we don't want them to regrow, but we want them to, like, die and become fertilizer, if you will, right? So we're putting it in there, and then soon we're going to take our grass clippings and shit. I don't know, we're testing it out, and maybe we'll put that between the rows or whatever. But again, if we have a whole bunch of seeds in the grass, that sucks. But we are past the dandelion phase, and now we're getting into clover. So maybe it'll be safe to do that now. I don't know. See, I always say that I don't know what we're doing, and that's true to a certain extent, but I do know some stuff, and it would suck to go against some of that knowledge, knowing that weed seeds are going to sprout up in the garden if we spread them in the garden. So we're going to try not to do that. There's, like, I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to know that beyond what I do know, but yeah, anyways. figuring out that. And what? Go ahead.
Someone asked if you were going to the Edmonton Art Walk.
Not this year. They've been doing it. I think this is the third week that they're doing it, or maybe it's only the second week. No, I'm not part of it this year. They're doing it in. I know they're doing it in the old Navy. No, Army and Navy. Or is it Old Navy? Army and Navy building. They were doing it in the other building, I think, too. Wow. I forget what it's called. So in that sort of way that they do it, it's just not appealing to me. I like it when there's thousands of people walking by, and it's so fun to be able to talk to like hundreds of other artists, stuff like that. It's different this year, so not my thing. I'm not even sure if I was like, normally I'm not invited. How do you say that? Like you're like pre-booked or whatever, early bird or whatever, and they pick artists. I don't know how they do it exactly, but I don't think I got an email for that. So they must be doing the registration a little differently this year. Plus, I think you also have to pay to go to it.
There's like an entrance fee.
An entrance fee, yeah. Which I think is only $5, but that turns a lot of people away. But most people actually who go to the art walk don't actually buy any art. So maybe it's to make all the people who would just be window shopping not go. I don't know what the goal is exactly. I'm sure it's something like that. And it's obviously so that they can still have art walk even though they have the COVID regulation stuff happening right now.
I saw a question, how are the baby robins doing?
That was the next thing I was going to talk about. So the baby robins, yesterday we hoed the garden and watered new grass. So, okay, first I'm going to tell you something. So, we hoed the garden. It's hot out, so we just...
This wasn't... Yeah.
What?
Go on.
Okay. But we hoed the garden, and then we did it at night, probably like 10 o'clock or so? 9 o'clock maybe? It was still light out, so I would say it was around 9 or 10. And so it was cooled off. It was probably, I don't know, like 15 or 17. No, you said it was 21 last night. So I guess it was 21 degrees, whatever it was. It wasn't hot. It was warm, but it wasn't hot. It wasn't blazing, I should say. Anyways, I'm like, okay, so we watered the garden. And then I was like, I'm going to plant grass in all these patches. Whatever, use up the rest of the grass seed. And then I'm like, so first I'm going to mow all the long grass that's already growing. And then plant the seed after. Not do what I did last time. Plant the seed, then run it over, and then all the seed runs away or blows away. And this time I scratched it up too. I know a lot of people were like saying that I had to scratch it up. Those are things that are quite obvious. I just didn't because I didn't feel like it. Last time we had rain, so we never watered it. But anyways, the next day obviously it dried out. I blew all the grass seed away. This time I decided to mow the grass first, then plant the grass, and then water. What I didn't think of is when the grass is blowing out the side, it has like that plastic thing that sticks over. And normally, I don't worry about it. Like when I mow the grass out front here, we have that little shitty front. Sorry about the buffering. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. Anyways, that thing is flexible. The stuff usually is stiff that it goes up against, and there's no damage. Plants, on the other hand, are easily damaged when you hit it with that thing. So what I did, I didn't mow over anything, but I pushed over like 12 stalks of corn, and I ran over with the wheel one potato plant, and I decapitated a marigold. So I had to figure out a better way to do that, to mow the grass there. So.
Baby robins.
Oh yeah. Anyways, we checked on the robins, or Ashley did, and she noticed that like the mom wasn't coming around, Eileen, and so something was weird or whatever. And she checked, and we don't know exactly what happened. Maybe someone who knows about birds might know. Thank you, Matthew. Both the babies, they're probably, I don't know, like this big or something like that. They were out of the nest, and one of them was missing a wing, and the other one had holes in it, and the other one was not missing anything but had holes in it as well. So I don't know if they were sick. I don't know if the heat had anything to do with it. I don't know how a mom rejects their babies and what it does to decide. I don't know. I don't know if it was a predator. I mean, they weren't.
If it was a predator, it would have been eaten.
Yeah, if it was a predator, I'm sure there'd be. I don't know if it was like another bird that was just trying to get rid of them. I don't know. So they died, and Eileen hasn't been around since. So that's a bummer. I was excited to see them grow up or whatever. Grow up? Is that the right word? I've seen chickens eat other chicks. When they get weak, the other chickens attack sometimes. Oh yeah, no, that's common. But speaking about, that was two little fish who said that. Speaking of chickens, so today we had, so Rue and Lemon. First we were thinking we would try both roosters. We knew it wouldn't work, but we were like, we'll give it a shot. We already have them. We knew it wasn't going to work, or we had the strong feeling that it wasn't going to work, because we only have 8 hens, including the 2 new chicks. Okay, because Sunny passed away and Minnie died, and we got rid of Peep because she was a bully. Okay, so we're down to, including the new hens, we're down to 8 hens. Okay, 2 roosters. That's not enough hens. You need, like, I don't know how many you need, like 15 or something. I don't know. You need more anyways. So we're like, we'll give it a shot. If they're both docile-esque roosters, we'll just, whatever. We'll just keep them both and see how it goes. Well, it didn't go good. So then we're like, okay, we're going to get rid of them. We're going to give them back and trade them for hens. Roosters are worth considerably less than hens, especially when it comes to these fancy birds, because the fancy birds, they cost, instead of like $5 a hen, they cost like, $50 a hen or whatever. It just depends. When they're chicks, they're less. I think they were like $25 or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, they grew up to be roosters, had some problems, decided to get rid of both of them, and then today, Rue went after Nugget. No, Nugget? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nugget. So Rue is the fuzzy gray one, the naked neck, the showgirl. Okay, we used to call her Lola. And by the way, guys, we understand that there's another song about a Lola who's transsexual. How do you say that? I don't. Right, that's what it is, I think. Okay. Anyways, we think the name Rue is better because Rue Paul, the drag queen, and our rooster is the showgirl, and looks like to me it's better. So we named him Rue. It's like a pun. It's like a double entendre. It's better. But if we wanted to use that 1 degree of separation through the song Lola Showgirl to the Lola by the Kinks, I think. By the way, I like that song. It's very I don't know, I just like that song. Anyways, today Rue went after Nugget and had her, like, normally Nugget is like pretty feisty when it comes to them, and she fights them off. I've shown it in a live here and there. I've shown it in Patreon videos, I think, as well. Anyways, they kind of do like what you see in a typical chicken fight, where they put up their feet and they, like, hit each other, and they puff out their feathers and all that sort of thing. Normally she's fine, but today she kind of got stuck in like a little corner, and she couldn't like get she was too whatever for Rue. And then out of nowhere, Lemon like busts into the run and fights off Rue, and then does like a dance thing for Nugget. And then he doesn't try to mate her himself. He like did like a clucky talking with her, and then they were chill, and then nothing happened. So we're thinking, this is just up in the air still, but we're thinking maybe we will keep Lemon. And Lemon is the other rooster, the white one who looks like a male version of Nugget. They're the same chicken, the same kind of chicken. Cochin, Bantam Cochin. Anyways, so we're thinking maybe we will just get rid of Roo, and then we will have the one rooster. He crows quite a bit. I actually got it on camera. I'll probably put it in a vlog somewhere. Maybe since I'm going to start a new vlog tomorrow, I think, vlog number 126. Maybe I'll put it there so you guys can see it. It's actually, he's so small and he's such a ball. And normally, I don't know how you guys picture roosters crowing, but they're usually like these sleek, super colorful, like big, like, I don't know, beasts. But he's like a little cloud, and he can't really like puff out, like, you know, he's like a little ball. He's like a little pom pom, and then his stupid little neck comes up, and he's like, ah! Where like normally like a chicken, he gets like a rooster, he gets like really big. Like if you got like yeah, like a Rhode Island red rooster, they get like, they get tall, and they like make themselves, they put their wings down, and and then they like their neck does like this little S thing, and then they like anyway, he can't do that because he's a mini.
He's so cute.
And it looks hilarious because he's like, I don't know, just like the other roosters I've seen, if you think about like big ass chickens, like Brahmas or what is that other one that's huge? Brahmas are an Orpington, yeah. They're like, they're like this tall. They're like this tall by themselves without stretching out. Imagine one of those be like a freaking, I don't even know. And also his crowing is not so loud, so it's not going to annoy anyone.
Yeah.
It's quiet. I mean, you can hear it from the house, kind of, but like,
not really.
You have to be like, what was that? Yeah. Like the crows are way louder. I probably shouldn't have favorites, but Lemon is my favorite, says Eric Johnson. Well, my favorite is Millie. She's got that Puff. If you guys remember, she's the one that I picked. Because we were only going to get 2 chicks, and then I was like, let's get one of those. Because we were going to get 2, what do you call them? Cream leg bars. 2 opals. And he only had 1 that was a female, so we only got 1. And then we guessed on the other ones, hoping they were all female. Unfortunately, only Millie was the female. But, whatever. So we might keep Lemon. We'll see how it goes. We're not going to separate them. So, I mean, we do collect eggs every day, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
They won't develop unless we let them.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't develop unless they were incubated. But if we like forgot one or whatever, I don't know.
Is Millie the one we trim?
Millie is the one that we trim, and the reason why we trim her is because she can't see with all her puffy feathers. So we just cut away her feathers a little bit, and then she can see out the side at least. And then she is a lot more like active when we cut her feathers, because she can actually see where she's going, and like she can't see it up, right? So you can easily sneak up on her and like pick her up. But she freaks out because she's like, what the heck is going on? Which, by the way, I picked up Roo today, and I didn't get my hands over his wings by accident. And usually when that happens with a hen, they'll flutter a little bit, and then you can get it. But with him, he was determined to not let me grab his wings down, and he was just like, and I was just like, oh.
Did he bite you?
He did bite me. It doesn't hurt, but he's very ornery. Yeah, he's got an attitude. So what I ended up doing is I tossed him over the raspberries towards where Blue and Henrietta were, and he like you know, fluttered down, and he immediately left. He was like, no thanks. Blue and Henrietta are 2 top hens.
And they're way too big for him to
Mm-hmm.
mess with.
He wouldn't be able to mess with them. Millie has a standing spa appointment for a trim. Yeah. So the roosters of Millie's breed, what are they called again?
Houdans?
Houdans. They look pretty similar because they have, like, you know, that poofy head, that crest or whatever.
They got the really creepy.
But yeah, but they have like pointier feathers and like, how would you explain it?
Like horns.
Yeah, kind of.
Like a V.
Their comb. So different breeds of chickens have different types of combs. So for those of you who don't know, normally you would see like a comb that looks like this, right? Kind of. Right? But there's also such thing as what's the kind? A rose comb?
Mm-hmm.
A rose comb that kind of looks like this, if you will. Okay, from the top view, you would see this, right? And then there's a pea comb that kind of looks like this. Okay, it looks like a crumpled up, I don't know, chewing gum. That's what Ginger has. She's a Brahma. We thought she was a Cochin, but she's a Brahma. They have similar features. They have different tails, but they have similar tails. And they have feathers on their feet, but they have different combs. They definitely have different feathers on their tails, but it's sometimes, you know, it's just kind of. Anyways, Henrietta has a rose comb.
I just looked it up. I didn't know what it was called. It's actually called a V comb.
Is it?
Yeah.
For the Houdans?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Houdans, they have a comb that looks like this. It looks like devil horns, and it looks
Creepy.
awesome. No, Ashley thinks it looks creepy, but I think it looks so cool. They look so badass. I think I showed them in one of my vlogs, probably the one where, actually, I know the thumbnail is of a rooster, and I think it says, "Are we getting a rooster?" To which a lot of people said, "No, don't get a rooster." But like, it's kind of hard to sex most breeds. Anyways, if you look in there, you'll see. I think you'll see one. I don't want to promise anything. It'll be in the chicken playlist though, if you want to see that. It's the one with the rooster in the thumbnail. Anyways, they have a comb that looks like this. So if I were to choose a rooster to have, I would probably pick that one because they look badass. But also, what's that one chicken called with the really long legs?
I don't know, but
They're so creepy. They have like flamingo legs, but
Yeah.
imagine having feathers on them. But they're really tall. I don't know what they're called, but they look disgusting. They look like someone who would like mug you in a New York alley. Like,
they're very scary.
they look like they're wearing like a suit, kind of,
Yeah.
right, with tails. They look like a creepy conductor or something. So weird. They got these like long pants. They look like they would be like in a Disney movie as a villain. You know, in what is it, Jungle Book? Jungle Book? Is that the one with the buzzards?
I don't know.
I think that's it. Right? You know what I'm talking about? They got like the 3 vultures, then they got like human hair. I think it's in that. They could use, like, alternatively to those, they could have used this type of chicken. They're so cool. I would also get one of those. But we don't have enough hens. Maybe someday we'll move that coop and turn it into something else. I don't know what we would turn it into. And then we'll build a bigger one. This is like very up in the air. I'm just talking shit. I don't actually know if we'd do that. But if we do and build a bigger one and we can house more chickens comfortably for winter and all that stuff, because they're just pets. We don't eat them or anything. I know some people think that's weird. And I guess it is kind of weird. But we don't, it's not like we waste them either. They just die. And then you don't want to eat a chicken that just died on its own. I don't think. Right? I think... Yeah, I don't think you want to. I think it starts, it's like it goes bad. Anyways, the chickens that we have had die. I know some people were like, "Why didn't you eat it?" Well, I didn't want to eat Sunny because she was like my.
She was sick and also
She was sick, yeah.
medicated.
But even if she was healthy and
She was
died suddenly,
medicated too.
huh?
She was medicated too.
Oh yeah, she was also medicated. She was medicated and she was sick. Those are two things you don't really want. Like you hear about like A&Ws, like we only have grass-fed beef now. Like that's how all of your beef should be. I don't. They're basically saying, hey, we used to feed you poison. But anyways, they oftentimes will medicate farm animals, and then it gets into you as a human. I guess. I mean, again, I'm just talking from what I've heard. But anyways, with chickens, smaller animal, more dangerous for the. Anyways, she had an upper respiratory, whatever you call it, infection. So, we didn't want to eat it. And plus, she would be like eating like penny loafers or something. I don't want to eat my cat. I didn't want to eat my chicken. So, that's why we buried her. We also buried Minnie, but I didn't make her a box. I just buried her in the ground just by herself or whatever.
Somebody asked about your painting you posted on Instagram.
The skull painting, that you would have seen it in the skull show and tell video, which I got a lot more views on there than I thought I would. I know that that's not, like I say in the video, that's not everybody's cup of tea. I totally get that. But like, thank you for watching it. Anyway, a lot of people. Yeah, that's awesome. I was expecting like 500 views, but I think we got like 3,000 or something like that. That's not bad for that type of video coming from me, I think. I don't know. So thank you for watching that. I hope you liked it. You probably didn't learn very much because I don't know anything about them except for that I have them and what the different animals are. If you read the description, I also put a note. Dr. C, who's an anthropologist, messaged me and told me that the horse skull is actually not a horse skull. And in the video, I said, I don't own a cattle skull, even though it seems like that would be the most obvious to own around here, that or a deer skull. Well, it turns out it is probably a cattle skull, probably a female cow. So a cow. So, anyways. Romaine Allen says, it was very interesting. I'm glad. It's so hot, the hens are picking up worms with pot holders. It is hot. We spray them down. So during this time, because it's hot as balls, we put on a, what do you call it, trampoline, like the part that you jump on. We put that over the side, right? And then we spray it with water in the, every couple hours if we're home. If we're not home, then we just spray down the ground, whatever, and then hopefully they're fine, which so far they have been. Today I worked, but Ashley didn't work. Tomorrow I don't work, but Ashley does work. And then Wednesday or Tuesday. What day is it today? Sunday. Anyways, the next day I work again and she doesn't work. So it actually works out. So, but anyways, we spray it down with the hose. And by the way, we have like 200 feet of hose, I guess, going out there. 200-foot hoses. So yeah, 200 feet. And it takes forever to get to cool water because that's 200 feet of water in the hose. That is like, it's not boiling hot, but it's hotter than you would want to, have constantly on you. So we're just like spraying it into nothing for like 5 minutes till it finally gets cool. Then we spray the roof, spray the walls. I don't know how much it helps, but have you guys seen, this is a stupid question, of course you have, like a Clint Eastwood movie or any Western movie or any movie involving the desert, Indiana Jones? There's a thing about, what do you call them, canteens? Canisters? Canteens. That I learned, I think I learned it in science class, but I don't actually remember. But anyways, there's a thing about canteens when it comes to evaporation. And this is what I use, these same principles when I spray other shit. I'm just like, this is probably gonna cool it down. Same thing happens when you, as a human or whatever animal, other animal that sweats. When you sweat, the thing that cools you down is not that you have hot water coming out of your face or wherever, or your armpits. It's that the heat on the outside of your body is evaporating the sweat off of you. So like if your forehead is sweating or whatever, and it evaporates, it keeps you cool. Same thing with a canteen. If you take some of the water in the canteen and put it on the fabric on the outside of the canteen, it helps keep the water inside the canteen cold, which I think is, I don't know how someone figured that out, but that is freaking genius. So anyways, same kind of idea. Spray the coop, spray everything in the run, spray the trampoline thing over, and then as it evaporates, hopefully it keeps the stuff cool. At least during the heat wave. That's when we do that. Wilma says, growing up on a big farm, roosters are greedy. Doesn't matter how many hens there are. A harem, 2 roosters will always fight. Yeah, we heard that is almost entirely true. But we've also seen that sometimes, well, the people who lived here before had 3 roosters, and they seemed to be fine. But he also had like 50 chickens. And they free ranged everywhere. He for a while he never even closed the gate until the fox came around. Also, he gained he's like, where are all these chickens coming from? He's like, I thought I only had, because first he bought 30, and then he had like 75. He's just like, what the heck? Like, he's like, am I going crazy? And they were all the same hen. He only had Rhode Island red or red leghorns.
Were they like breeding and incubating?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because he sold his eggs. So he collected them. But, I mean,
if they were free ranging, they could have gone like in the field and just.
Yeah, somehow, well, he would have noticed chicks, and he would have noticed like pullets and stuff.
Yeah.
But these are all, they were all aged, yeah. So what he thinks happened is because he had 3 roosters and they're crowing, and females from other people's free-ranging chicken farms, like just around our area here, probably just went to where there was a rooster, you know, especially if they were broody, and then other chickens probably followed them, and then they just stayed here. And then he was just like, oh, well, whatever. And I think that's freaking hilarious. He just he like doubled his watch out, Penny. He more than doubled his chickens for free. And then like he was selling his dozens of eggs for $3.50, I think. Or as he would say it, $3.50, because he was British. Yeah, that's hilarious. I'm remembering him telling me like, yeah, do you know anything about chickens? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, I bought 30 and now I have like 80. Oh man, that's so funny. Someone else was probably like, where the hell are all my chickens going? Probably they were in like the Facebook chicken groups at the time, and like, they don't have any problems with predators stealing your chickens and then leaving no trace. Like there's no feathers anywhere. They're probably just like, what is happening? They're just all puzzled. Oregon is record heat for the last 3 days, 108 to 111, too hot. Dang, I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's hotter than it is here. Tracy's talking about someone who does jazz.
Lisa Mella says, we just moved to Missouri and found you and Ashley on YouTube Roku and can't get enough now. Love your vlogs and I learned so much from you.
Who is this?
Lisa Mello.
Lisa, thanks for watching. What is Roku?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I'm glad that you watched it. Is that like a YouTube thing? No, that doesn't make any sense. What did she say?
YouTube Roku. ROKU.
We just moved to Missouri and found you and Ashley on YouTube Roku and cannot get enough now. Love your vlog. Learned a lot from you. Well, thank you. I'm glad that I'm not a teacher, so do not,
Streaming device.
do not, oh, like Apple TV kind of thing. Okay. Do not take what we say as gospel. We're just trying to learn a lot of things on our own. And I mean, of course, there are some things that we know, but I should always put a Actually, you know, I should change the intro to "Don't listen to me" or something. You know, where it says "Not for kids." I should make another gun shop that says "Don't listen to me." But I appreciate that. Roku is a device that you can watch YouTube on your television. Oh, okay. Okay, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff French. Jeff French, I don't recognize you. Are you new as well? Did you find me on Roku as well? Don't take chicken advice from this channel. Like potatoes grow underground. Yeah. Wait, Lisa, you're the one who said that, right? That was your comment? She explained to me that she was joking, but it didn't translate. I just thought she thought I was absolutely dense because I was like, wait a minute. Who doesn't know that potatoes grow underground? But someone sent me, emailed me a clip of, what's that Australian morning show called again? The View?
I don't remember.
No, it's not called The View. That's the one with all the women. Okay, I forget what it's called, but there's this show, probably you guys know about it. It's about, or I don't know what it's about, but there's these two hosts. One's a guy with white hair and one's a girl, a blonde, okay? And anyways, in this particular show, they're talking about gardening, and the lady, I think her name's Kelly, but I can't be sure. But anyways, she is talking about, they're talking about their garden, and she's talking about, I think he asked her if she's tried anything. She's like, no, I've dug up some corn, and there was nothing under there yet. So I haven't tried anything yet. And then the guy's like, what? Corn doesn't grow underground. It grows on the plant. And then she was all embarrassed about it. Anyway, someone sent me that because of the whole potato fiasco. So whoever it was, they do know that I know that potatoes grow underground. She was just kidding. And I was like, it didn't make any sense to me because I even dug up one of them and there was potatoes underground. And then I was like, oh, these are just really small. And also the mother potato or whatever you call it is not it's not shriveled up anymore. You know, so I explained some things that I don't know. It just baffled me that someone would think that I was that dumb. But they didn't think I was that dumb. They were just trying to be funny. The clean cheese was hilarious. Live with Kelly and Ryan. Oh, is that what it's called? Regis and Kelly? No, not Regis and Kelly. This is like an Australian. The potato thing was funny. Free stud fee. He was a beautiful horse. What? Kelly and Ryan. Live. Kelly was Ryan. Yes, but he said gray hair. Gray hair? I said white hair. Are you talking about me? But can you get clean cheese from this channel? Oh, that's why you're bringing it up. Did I make the squirrel? Yeah, I made... Oh, Charlie horse. So, I've told this story before, but for those who don't know it, let me tell it again. Okay? I used to work at this job that I absolutely hated. So let this be a lesson to you. Do not work a job that you hate, especially if the reason you hate it is because of your superiors. They don't care about you. You shouldn't care about leaving. Anyway, I worked at this horrible job. The job actually was fine, but I didn't like my superiors. My direct superior, my manager. Anyways, they had a scrap bin that they would throw scrap in, obviously. What would they throw in the scrap bin? Lettuce. Anyways, this nut was in there. And on it I wrote, "Are you nuts?" Which is an inside joke. Not an inside joke, but like just something that I used to, I guess I still do every once in a while, but I'll say that to Ashley. There's a song by Eminem called Oh, I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called. Or maybe it's called Are You Nuts? Anyways, he says, Are you nuts? No, I'm insane. Anyways, it's just a line in the song. I'm assuming a lot of you won't like that song, so don't look it up. Just take my word for it. Anyways, I would always say, Are you nuts? And then Ashley would say, I'm insane, which would make me laugh because that's not how it goes. It's like, no, he's insane. Anyways, she does that with a lot of Eminem songs. She'll just be like, Hi kids, do you like my eyelids? If you know the actual lyrics, you know that that's hilarious. Do you like my eyelids? Like, that's not how it goes. Anyways, I picked this up and I wrote Are You Nuts on it because it's obviously a big nut, and I gave it to her just as a, I don't know, just a stupid joke gift, right? And then years later, maybe not quite years later. Anyways, I quit working there and I decided to do like, oh yeah, I went into framing. So I was framing houses for a bit. Then I went into taping and then I went back to framing and then kind of both at the same time. And then I went on my own. And then as I was going on my own, I decided to do art, try to do art full time. And I think this is one of the things I made. Anyways, this was a birthday gift to hold the nut. Because people would always ask, like, why is this on your bookshelf? And then I had to explain that stupid long story that I just said. Well, one time Ashley said, I'm insane. Anyways, so I made this and now people no longer ask about the nut because it makes sense that a squirrel is holding the nut.
He also has nuts.
Yeah. And Ashley said, he also has nuts. Yeah, so then I also gave him nuts out of 2 nuts. And his legs are made out of leg bolts. And I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that. He unintentionally rattles. So he's semi-hollow. He's just made out of a whole bunch of different scrap. If you look closely, you can see all sorts of scrap metal in there. I was actually going to make him all smooth, like make him look just like a realistic squirrel. Without all the texture and stuff, but then I was like, man, that looks kind of badass. So I threw him in the forge to make them all one color, burnt him up, made him yellow. He was like perfectly yellow. Took him out. I think there's a picture on my Instagram somewhere. And then, yeah, what I actually needed the forge for was to bend this railroad spike for his tail. But yeah, I think he turned out pretty cool. So this guy I made for Ashley for her birthday just as a whatever, birthday gift. I made her a birthday gift as a birthday gift. Anyways, oh yeah, I also wanted this, we were talking about the lawnmower earlier, and you know how I broke it, guys, right? Remember that? I broke the thing, and then Amy, I don't know if she's on right now, but she offered to send me a new thing. Didn't need it. Turned out that we fixed it. Actually, Armando fixed it. He's like, anything can be fixed. So he straightened the, whatever you call it, the clutch thing. It's not straightened completely because now it vibrates. But yesterday it stopped vibrating. I was like, oh, the centrifugal force must have like straightened it out. And I was like, perfect. Spindle? No, not spindle. No, it's like, it's a clutch thing. It's to engage the mower deck. Anyways, it stopped vibrating. I was like, perfect, this is awesome. Because you guys might remember that I left it in my back area because I ran out of gas. Got new gas, put it in there, started it up, all good in the hood, stopped vibrating. I'm like, excellent. Turn off the mower deck, go, I can't remember what I did, but anyways, I brought it to the front, turned the mower deck back on, and it's freaking not engaging. I was like, what? Is that why it stopped vibrating? What could it be? I don't know. I look under it, and I'm like, huh. Looks normal to me. Look under the other side, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. The belt is super loose. Then I look at the clutch thing, which is connected to the clutch, and I'm like, okay, no, that's normal, that's normal. I look around, then I look around the other side, and the spring that holds it tight had broken. So I fix one thing, or Armando fixes one thing, and then I break another thing. On the day that it is like fixed somehow, you know, it's kind of like the when you hit the TV, things seem to go, or you wait long enough and your check engine light goes off. It was like that kind of situation. But then something else breaks, you know, flat tire or whatever. So I was like, shit, now I can't mow the grass. And it was like probably, this was after we mowed the grass at the garden, right? So this was probably like, I don't know, 10:30 or something like that at night. So I was like, maybe tomorrow, whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a trampoline spring, and I'm going to replace this spring with a trampoline spring. But this was like one of those, like, what do you call those ones that are not fun to jump on for aerobics and shit? One of those ones, those stupid small ones that are, I don't know why they exist. I was like, okay, I'll grab one of those springs. I try to pull it with all my might, and I can't get it on the thing. So I look in my spring bin. Luckily, that's one of the things I've sorted so far in the art trunk. And I find in a big spring from these army truck disc brakes. And so if you don't know, or not disc brakes, sorry, drum brakes. If you don't know what drum brakes are, or you don't know what the internals look like, there's kind of like, how do you explain it? Like these two pads that they go like this, and they squeeze against, if you will, this pot that goes over it. Okay? This is so stupid, but I can't really explain it better than that. So there's like friction, right? And then to do that, it has like these series of springs in there. And now if you imagine taking one of those and putting it in the lawnmower, that's what I did. I actually had to bend it because it was too long, because it was like this long or so. So I made it so it was like this, which is very close to the original, and it worked like a charm. So once again, anything can be fixed. What was the other thing I was going to mention? I forget. You know when you're like talking about something, you're like, oh, I'll remember that for sure. I don't know. Anyways, I shared a picture of that on my Instagram of the axe thing. So for those of you who thought that they would fall out all the time, so far, no. They haven't fallen out even one time. Even the time... Okay, guys. I thought I had gotten all of the... I wish I got this on camera. I thought I had gotten all the stumps. Right? I'm axing them out. And I'm having, like, such a good time mowing now. I don't have to, like, go super slow and, like, go around stuff that I know is there. Now I'm just flying. I'm, like, all the way down in rabbit mode, and I'm just... And I sharpen the blade, so I don't even have to go slow for that anymore. I'm just freaking cruising. There's like this stump. It's probably about this tall, and it's probably about this big around. So I don't know if you'd call that a stump. It's like a stick sticking out of the ground. Sorry, that's probably annoying. There's a stick sticking... Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. We'll fix this backlighting situation. Watch out, panel first. There we go. What is that? Oh, that's my couch. I'm like, what? I'm like pointing at this, like, what the hell is that? That's my couch and the reflection of the TV. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the stick, it's like basically the size of my thumb. I'm like flying down my driveway and I nail this thing. And do you remember in the vlog where I take care of that situation? And I like, I was like that. I wish I got this on camera because like I almost fell off of the lawnmower. I was like sideways and I was like, ugh, because I've never mowed the grass on 5 because it's not very practical. It's like, it's too fast. It pushes the grass over. But that grass there is like, it's so sparse and it's right beside the driveway. So I'm freaking flying down there and I just, yeah, not good. Not good. I don't know if you guys have ever had that, but not great. Anyways, this is a heat wave talk with Josh, and I think we're done. I wrote down some things I wanted to talk about, give you guys an update.
A lot of garden.
Yeah, what time is it? 9? 8?
8.
8's 8? Okay, so what temperature do you think it is? If you had to guess, before you look it up, I would say, based on what it feels like, I feel actually across degrees because these 2 windows are open.
28.
You think it's 28?
Yeah.
I think it's probably 25. Ashley's looking it up.
29.
It's 29?
Feels like 31.
Feels like 31. Dang.
And it's 8 o'clock.
Do you have air? What does that mean? Like AC? We do not.
Did you want to know what that is in Fahrenheit?
What's that?
29 Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Okay.
84.2.
It's 84.2 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you who don't know Celsius. 29 will be cold here in Georgia. Hey, what did you say it was? 89? What?
89.4. 84.9.
Whatever that is, 80 something, close to 90. I don't know. That would be cold in Georgia. It must be freaking screaming hot over there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people assume, and I'm not sure why, because, well, I guess you assume stuff about places you've never been. But Canada, like, clearly this is not an igloo. Canada is not freezing cold all of the time. And in fact, the winter is not even freeze cold either. I mean, technically it is freezing cold because there's ice and stuff, but like, you can go out in a hoodie, like just a sweater.
We're used to it though.
That is true.
Like, we're not used to this.
Yeah, this heat is well, rare is not the right word, but like this doesn't happen too often. It doesn't bother me at all, but it bothers Ashley a lot. So
But I like it.
Ashley likes, yeah, she would prefer winter, which I think is, well, fall. You like fall. I hate fall. Fall to me, or autumn, to me is the worst. Wait, autumn?
And fall are like the same thing.
Yeah, that sounds wrong to me for some reason. For a second, I thought I was saying August. Autumn. Yeah, autumn to me feels like. Okay, this is how I like to explain it. It is cold for no reason. There's no fun cold. Like, it sucks. Ashley says it's perfect, but for me, it's just like in the winter, you can go snowmobiling. You can go tobogganing or sledding, whatever you want to call it. It's funny, snowmobiling and sledding are the same thing, and tobogganing and sledding are also the same thing. And you know what sucks? I don't know if you guys had these where you are from. There used to be these things called crazy carpets. And what they were, when they were brand new, you could fly on these. It was basically a piece of plastic that was flexible and wouldn't get brittle in the cold. Although, actually, that's a lie. When there was like, what was that? Oh, it's Archie. I was like, what the heck is that noise? When it is like minus, like I remember one time we had to go outside at school and it was like minus 40 or something like that, which is the same in both. And I don't know why we had to go outside, but it was too cold. My face was freezing. Anyways, I remember kids, crazy carpets snapping because it was so cold. But anyways, there's these things called crazy carpets. and it's like a little sled. If you go down a sheet of ice of a hill, you will pick up so much speed. It is so fun. I remember one time a kid in my school taped two crazy carpets, like pieces of crazy carpet, to his feet. It took him forever to climb up the hill. But do you remember that? Levi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he like basically made shoes out of crazy carpets, and then he would try to go down the hill. I mean, he did, but like people had to drag him up the hill because he couldn't walk because it was so slippery. Like when you go sledding, for those of you who have snow where you're from, this sounds obvious, but when you keep going down the snow, you don't want there to be fresh powder. You're not skiing, right? Skiing, you want there to be fresh powder because it's nice. Unless you don't know how to ski, in which case you want to have a more groomed... Anyways, when you're sledding or tobogganing, you don't want there to ever be fresh powder. You want it to be ice. You want to go fast and you want to go far. And if you have jumps and stuff, it's even better. But anyway, this hill was basically a sheet of ice. And you could like start a new path, or you could try to convince all the rest of the kids not to trample the whole hill. It wouldn't really work though, because if enough people pack down the snow, it also becomes a sheet of ice. So then you move the path, move the path, move the path, then pretty soon the whole hill. What did they call this hill?
Hamburger?
Not Hamburger Hill, the other at Queen Street. Whatever it was called. Anyways.
Are you part Irish?
Am I part... No. No, I'm not Irish. I don't think.
No.
Anyway, what was I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. It's not that cold here. It is freezing polar vortex, but that used to not be common. That used to be like an anomaly. It used to be like a thing where people would be like, isn't that crazy? Now it's just like, oh yeah, just like last year and the year before. Now it's probably just going to be a normal thing because of the whole climate change thing. I bet you we'll have one this like next year as well. Or this year? This year, right? When does the year start over?
January.
Yeah, so maybe this year or next year. We've already had one this year. So we'll have a heat stroke. A heat stroke. What do you call this? Heat wave. And a polar vortex, maybe all like last year we didn't have a heat wave. We did have heat, but it was fine. The hardest thing for me would be it being daylight at 10 p.m. Oh, you totally get used to it. You can still like if you work, and you got to be up or whatever. You can just like it's easy to like when you're used to it, you're used to it. Like what's crazy is when you have 24-hour light, like they do further north, because you're north. So the sun is the earth, it stays there until you get to a different season or whatever. And then the axis or whatever is away. But like when you're going around, like the sun is just right there. It's just like, hello, north. By the way, guys, I learned something. Tell me if this blows your mind. Asking, hold on. I'm going to get this wrong. Shit. No, I forget. Okay, but Neil deGrasse Tyson had this thing. He was saying, what was there before the beginning of time? And he says that he doesn't know if there's a God, who made God sort of thing. Is that a logical question to ask or not? And he gave an example that would be easier to digest. And he was like, asking Santa Claus which way is east doesn't make any sense. Because no matter what, assuming Santa Claus lives in the North Pole and is real. I'm going to butcher the shit out of this. He's like, you can't ask Santa Claus which way is east because everywhere is south to him. No matter which way he points. Because he's at the North Pole. He's as north as you can be, so everywhere else is south, I think.
I'm lost.
So there's no east in the North Pole, and there's no west. I think there's... Does anyone know this? Does anyone know this? there have been many climate changes over millions of years. Some that will happen again and again. Of course. But this is different somehow, apparently. I'm not a scientist, and I don't feel like arguing, but I believe that there is like human-caused climate change, just like I believe there is natural climate change. When they can see something, like it doesn't make sense to argue for something that's not true so vehemently when you would know that it's not true. And I believe that these people, these scientists and stuff, would know if it was true or not. So it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make any sense. However, I guess ultimately I don't know because I don't study that. So, everywhere would be south from the North Pole. Ah, okay. Potatoes grow in the south. Potatoes grow in the south because of down? That's funny. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. No arguing here, he says in all caps locks. No, I don't necessarily think you're arguing. I'm just saying I don't want to argue. I'm just saying I believe that there's human-caused climate change, and I believe that there is natural-caused climate change. Make sure it's alive, Matthew. What happened, Matthew? I want to go, Linda. Oh. Matthew said that when he visits this summer, if he visits, who knows if he will, but he says that he plans to. He says he wants to christen the dead goat trail with a real dead goat. But my argument is, he's joking obviously, but my argument is it already has been because that's where the dead goat was. So that's why we called it that. Well, I called it that because of Matthew. Ashley doesn't like that name, just so you know. She's looking at me like what? No, that's gross. But there was a goat or a sheep. Ashley thinks it was a sheep, and
It wasn't a goat.
huh?
It was definitely a sheep.
See, she's like, it was definitely a sheep. So we kind of have to use our imaginations and pretend it was a goat. It's called, to me, it's a dead goat trail. I'm out of water. That means we're out of time. Thank you guys for hanging out. Remember, if you want to be a part of the I almost said dead goat fan club. Matthew, you're in my mind. You're in my head. If you want to be a part of the floor club, you can buy one of these packs, or you can buy all of them, or you can buy none of them. No, you can't be part of the club if you don't buy any of them. But there also is not a club, so. But if you would like to support us in that way, get a cool set of cards. And if you buy all three, a bonus card that you can't buy separately. That would be dope. We are getting our floor soon. So, thank you to everyone who's already bought those. Thank you for everyone. Oh! I didn't answer the question about the skull painting. See, this is what it's like to have ADD. I remembered though. The skull painting. Someone asked about the painting that was on Instagram. That painting I had in the skull show and tell, and then I started talking about that. You can have a better look in that video, but on Monday, tomorrow, I'm going to go to the post office. If you ordered a big thing like that rooster, I'm going to be sending that off to, what's it called? Pack mail. They're going to pack it up for you, and they're going to send it out to Hawaii. Right. I remember that. He said he was in Hawaii. He used to live in like Sweden or something?
No.
Or France?
No.
Or Canada?
California.
He lived in California.
That was a different person who was in France
Okay, someone in France is getting something or something.
a while ago.
Oh, they already got it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, someone in Hawaii, you're getting your chicken. And anyways, so tomorrow is Monday. It's my errand running day. So I'm going to be getting that painting scanned. It's kind of exploring, not a technique, but, and also not a genre, but a method, if you will, that I don't normally use. I tried to make it like sort of monochrome. I mean, technically I used technically it wasn't monochrome, but I only used 2 colors, just red and purple. So anyways, I'm going to get that scanned tomorrow. So if you like that painting, it will be available starting whenever I get it back, and get the prints made. But yeah, what temp is it there? It is 20, what is it? 29 right now, Celsius, which is 84.2 or something Fahrenheit. Hey, pretty mama bear, thank you for watching. Someone asked about penny loafers. She's good. Look, she's hot. She's all splayed out. Probably feels a little uncomfortable. It is pretty like humid as well. It's got like a thickness to the air. If we had AC, all that, like, we would have to empty it. Wait, how do you? I've never had AC in the house. Do you have to empty it, or does it? Wait, what do we have? We have an efficient furnace, high efficiency furnace. It has that water thing on it. Is it using that? No. It draws it out of the air, I think. That's why it has the drain going to the drain. Like, it has that tube. Oh. Yeah, I didn't know what that was. I was like, is this like a fax machine on the side of, like, what is this plastic box? I'm like, I don't even understand what this is. No, you don't empty an AC. Okay, so it just, because I know it draws air, water, moisture out of the air. That's why you're always thirsty in, like, malls and stuff. Because it, like, draws all the moisture out, I guess. A dehumidifier. No, I'm not thinking of a humidifier or a dehumidifier. I was thinking AC, but I wasn't sure if you had to do that or not. Your central air machine empties itself. I regularly hear mine gurgling. Amy is in the Edmonton area too, and it's supposed to get up to 39 by 30. What? 39? Yeah. What is that Fahrenheit? Just look it up. That's too hot. It's fine, but, like, you have to do more chores when it's hot.
102.
It's 102? 102 Fahrenheit. Okay. It's Dang.
It's 106 right now in Arizona.
We have 41 on Tuesday, says Darcy. 41. Lisa says about 100. About 100. So 102. It seems like the degrees between Fahrenheit are really close together. Obviously it has to be. And Celsius is further apart. Because, like, when you think about, like, 102, if that was Celsius, you would be dead. I don't think you could survive that without some serious protection. At least SPF 20, Just put it on sunscreen, like, you're just like, this will do it. No, you would fry at 102 degrees Celsius. Huh?
SPF 20?
Yeah, I know, I was joking.
Oh.
But, like, you could be in a vat of, no, the sunscreen would be boiling. You would be dead. You'd be fried human. Yeah. Like, what do you said, like, water boils at 100. Mm-hmm. Okay? At this atmospheric pressure or whatever you call it. So if water boils, and if humans are 60% or whatever water, like, would you just sweat out everything, and then, like, would it just, like, what would happen? Freezing is 0 Celsius and 32. Boiling is what? Freezing is 0 Celsius and 32 Fahrenheit. Boiling is 100 Celsius and 122 Fahrenheit.
212.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I read the wrong thing. 212. 212? That's so high. But all cookbooks usually are in Fahrenheit. Probably because they come from the US. But in Canada, or, well, at least so when I was framing and stuff, blueprints were in imperial. But windows were in metric. All the time. Not all the time, but often. I guess it depended on who they were getting to make the windows. I don't know, but like you use standard measurements just as much as you use metric measurements. Actually, I would say you use standard more here, like where we are. However, like when someone says like Johnny B, he's like, yeah, I can jump 9 meters. Like 9 meters, how far is that? Like how many feet is that? Like I don't even know. Like I know like that's a lot.
Like a meter stick.
Yeah, meters like just is that over or under 3 feet? I forget which one is bigger. But that's because I use imperial so much more often. But I can picture, but like if you picture like 100 meters and 100 yards, one of them is going to be significantly shorter. I remember telling Johnny B or asking Johnny B how far he could jump, and he told me some ridiculous. I was like 10 feet, and he's like, he starts laughing. I'm like, what? He's like, you could jump 10 feet, dude. I could only jump like 7.
You tried?
Yeah, we were working on this house.
Yeah.
And so I did it on this front lawn. So I'm just like, he's like, I was like, so how far do you get a run? You actually get a run quite a bit on running long jump. So those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, Johnny B, he's the painter guy. He's got a contagious laugh and he opens his bananas upside down. Anyways, he's showing me how far you can run because he's a long jumper. So I'm like, okay, I can run. I'm like running, I jump, and like I'm like, what the heck is this? I jumped like so pathetically like short, and then he's like, well, this isn't sand or whatever, so I'm just going to. What? He's standing long jump further than I running, yeah. But I'm sure if it was sand for me too, I would have been able to jump further because you're kind of like it's hard ground, right? You're not doing the whole commitment to it. But he could jump way further than I could. Like not even close. So I think he can jump. I don't know what the record is. Far. I was like, what? How do you jump that far? Like that's a bus. Not literally. Like he can jump further than my truck, which is 23 feet, I think. Can you look up what the record?
9 meters is 29.6 feet.
29? Okay, because I think I asked him if he could jump 25 feet, and I think he said further. But he gained a meter during his last training session.
Really?
Yeah.
An entire meter?
Yeah. When like they measure it on like centimeters.
Wow. How did he do that?
Training, I guess. Guys, if you want to learn how to jump far, commit your life to it, break your Achilles, and then heal, and then be more motivated.
Maybe it's ballet.
He has very long legs. Oh yeah, he's been doing ballet. So apparently ballet is very good for healing Achilles tendon injuries. So whatever it is that they have to do for their strength training, apparently it's not it's low impact, and it has like some serious what do you call it, like beneficial, like how do you say that when something happens really quickly, whatever that is, like you have like fast results, kind of like what people want when they go on a diet and it never works. Whatever that is, it's the opposite of that for ballet. So if you're trying to get strong legs, do ballet, I guess. I mean, they must, because they like stand on their toes and shit.
And it's for like controlled movements.
Yeah, because they're not. Yeah, and then they jump. They can jump high too. I wonder if basketball players do ballet, because they can jump mad high. I can't jump high. Oh my god, lol.
Now I'm picturing Johnny B in it too.
I think he probably just wore like Under Armour or something. I had a temp of 105 degrees. It was so hot when my parents put me in a room temp water. It felt like ice water. Huh. He is very tall. I think he's 6'3". I think that's what he is.
So you must be able to run really fast to like sprint. And
Yeah,
do
because
jump,
his
like-
second event is 100-meter dash.
How about high jump then?
I don't
I feel
know.
like you would be good at high jump then.
Maybe. There's he doesn't like doing the sprints because he's not as good at it. But guys, remember when I injured my knee? He showed me how to correct my gait, and when I did that, when I healed, like when I stopped running with the crutches, I was like, I could run. My time was still not great because like I had to take it easy, but like I ran. The last run I think was 13 kilometers or something like that. I ran it no problem, so easy. Adjusting your gait to run straight, like to run efficiently, makes a world of difference. Is he trying for the Olympics? He is. That's all I can say. Anyways, guys, I meant to say goodbye a while ago, but thanks for hanging out during this heat thing. Someone says, I get it, it's hot. Yeah, it is hot.
No, he's hot. Get it?
Oh.
You read that like a
I hope you don't have lingering effects to Matthew. Why? What did you have, Matthew? How far can you run, Matt? I'm guessing Matthew can maybe like 27 meters, something like that.
jump.
Yeah, if he shaved his beard though, he could probably jump way further. All that wind resistance, because he's got like that metal goatee. Not that it's made out of metal, but like metal,
Matthew had COVID.
Oh, he had COVID. He's like, I can run 10 feet, then I'll collapse. I can run decently far, but it is not comfortable. Ashley's brother, he's just like, he's like, you know what? I'll just run 30 kilometers.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a run. Comes home 5 hours later.
Yeah, he just runs for 5 hours, and he's like, okay, that's good enough. And sometimes he's like, oh, there's my truck, so I guess this is where I'll end.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. He's just like I was talking to him because I'm working on it at his house that he bought, and he's just like, yeah, he's like, I'm like, so in this heat, do you run? He's like, yeah, I just run later when it's only 25. Like, what? Like, cause it's hard to run it's hard to even just like. Well, it's not hard to run. It's hard to run far.
In the heat.
It's like, yeah, it's bad. Like, just today in the morning, spraying off the shit, like, you're just so uncomfortable. You're just like, ugh. Not so uncomfortable that you don't want to eat the chicken coop, but, like, you would rather be, in the lake or something.
Yeah. For sure.
Do people get into fireworks up there in Canada like they do here in the States? Get into fireworks? Like, how do you mean? Like, did they shoot them? They did yesterday. Yesterday? Or was it the day before? Yeah, people have fireworks. Like for like Canada Day, they probably will. Although I think a lot of places are not celebrating Canada Day this year because of the all the kids that they're finding that were murdered / died from disease / all the different things, kidnapped basically, all that sort of thing. That's finally, like, all these people where they were just like telling them to like get over it and stuff. It's so crazy how they were right. Like, I mean, they knew they were right, but like now they can't say they were wrong. They're like, oh, 700 and some people found yesterday, or
The other day.
not yesterday, the other day, 215 or so the first time. That's almost 1,000. There's how many, 100 and some thousand people were put into these residential schools, and then you have about 1,000 people found here. Like, how many are still going to be found, and how many are not buried on school grounds? How many were taken somewhere else? And how many, like, because how many people didn't make it home? You hear all these stories. Like, I remember, like, we learned about this very briefly in, I think, grade 7 or 8 in social studies. And, like,
But not.
not to an extent. It was like residential schools weren't like basically indigenous people or what I think they called us. They didn't call us indigenous at the time. I think they called us Aboriginal at the time. Aboriginal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Aboriginal people didn't know how to speak English, so they brought them to these schools. But our teacher, Mrs. Wandio, so this must have been grade 7. She knew more about it, probably because of where she went to school as like, so she went past the curriculum and told us a little bit about that it was awful and, you know, such and such. Because I remember we learned about Mennonites at the same time. Mm-hmm. And remember Jessica was a Mennonite, so she already knew about it. Yeah. But I didn't know shit.
About residential schools?
Yeah. I mean, I knew a little bit just from hearing about it, but I didn't know.
Grew up.
I grew up in a white household.
Yeah. And
I look white, so no one would suspect that, you know, anyways. But now you can't hide it. There's like, you can't be like, nah. I mean, there are people who denied like the Holocaust and stuff, which like baffles me. So there are always going to be people who are going to be like, no, it didn't really happen. Because a lot of people are saying they just died of tuberculosis, which probably they did. A lot of people did.
Yeah,
because lots of people.
That's like living conditions, nutrition,
Yeah, of course. But I'm just saying that's the argument. That's the cop-out argument is saying disease, which disease kills a lot of people, especially back in the day. But also, a lot of these people probably wouldn't have died of TB if they didn't have, like you say, living conditions like that. And like, also, that doesn't make it okay that they kidnap these people, cut off their hair, steal their whatever, rape them. Like, huh?
Wouldn't let them speak their language.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, they had to speak English. You know, like what is it? Destroy the savage, save the man, or whatever. Anyways, thank you, Josh. First Nations. Maybe they died of TB, but why were they in the schools to catch it in the first place? See, also, probably, and this is just playing devil's advocate, probably not everyone had a bad experience. But the thing is that they didn't care if they did or not, right? So like the RCMP, so our federal police are called the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. They don't actually ride horses anymore. Well, actually they do still ride horses, and they wear those stupid, like, those stupid pants with like the hips on them. Like, what is that? The freaking motorcycle cops wear those stupid things too, and those boots. Like, what are they doing? Like, they look so dumb. They're like, and they wear the cowboy hat thing, or like the Mountie hat, like the flat. Oh, they look so stupid. Anyways, I don't, like, if I was a cop, if I was RCMP, I'd be like, for sure, I'm going to wear the regular issue pants and the regular issue boots, and I'm not wearing that stupid hat. Like, the hat, like, sometimes they look badass with that hat, right? And they put it forward or whatever, right? They look cool. But some people just, like, I'm like, what the heck? You would look better with no hat on, my man. Take that off. You look stupid. But maybe they have to wear it. But I see plenty of cops that don't wear any hats. Like, not even like the mailman hat or whatever that's called. You know? And it has like the shield on it or whatever. One time I was pulled over by police that were wearing no uniforms at all, and they had an unmarked car. They're unmarked clothes and unmarked car. They pulled me over, asked me who. I think I just had a freaking realization. They were probably undercover.
What?
I just solved it. I know what happened. They thought I was. Remember when they were having those gang problems in Spruce Grove? Like 10 years ago or something like that? No, maybe not quite that far ago. I remember. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to remember. The reason they weren't wearing any clothes. They weren't wearing any clothes. They were wearing street clothes. They pulled me over in a regular car. But why would they? No, they wouldn't blow their cover like that. Unless they were like super sure that I was whoever they thought I was. But because it didn't make any sense. They were like, we're looking for someone that with a car that matches your description. And I was like, do you see my car? There's no car like this. This thing is the biggest piece of shit you've ever seen.
Maybe they're profiling you.
For what? Looking white? I look white. There's no. That is one of the most annoying things. Sorry, I don't think you're trying to do this, but when people try to say that people are racist towards me, do you see me? I look white. No one is hardly ever, unless they know that I'm native, or ever racist to me. I look too white. I almost never have to worry about that. Unless they read my ID, then sometimes you can kind of see. Like I remember one of the last times I was pulled over, they're like, Ermine Skin. Oh, I know that name. And I was like, ugh. Anyways. I have, I don't know for sure, but I think, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense that they were wearing street clothes and had an unmarked car. Like it wasn't even like a ghost car. It was like a Honda Civic. Like they don't even use those for police cars here. Do they use those for police cars anywhere? Like I know they have like Dodge Chargers. They have at the time they had town cars, not town cars. What do you call them? The Ford version, not the Lincoln. The Crown Victorias, and they had Tahoes. And then of course they had like the cool ones, like they had the Corvette and stuff. But like that was probably just to go to events and stuff. I don't think they ever used it. Back in the day, they used to have Mustangs like mine as police interceptors. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe this is making me curious. I'm making myself curious.
Have you ever done the DNA test? Ask your Lawnmower or River.
I've never done a DNA test. Well, I think I did when I was young because I had to prove my status. But my dad would have done that for me. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that exactly because I don't remember. Crown Vic, yeah, that's what it was. They could also have been impersonating police. There are fools that could try. No, they weren't. They were police. That blows my. I remember because I was like, they're like, where are you heading? I'm like, driving my bro home. Who's your bro? And I'm like, there's only one person in this car besides me. Obviously him. And it was like, bro, oh, like he's your brother? Yeah. Oh, I was just wondering if he was your brother or your friend. I'm like, it doesn't even matter where I'm going. You pulled me over for no reason. Cop impersonator recently arrested nearby. Really? This guy was a cop. He was a police. He was a policeman. It's just, if he wasn't, like the police station is not, like it's a small town. Like super risky. Because he had like his lights on and stuff. It's possible, but I don't think so. I thought Josh was having a stroke when he paused. Sorry, sometimes I'm just like, naked scammers? Oh, because I said he wasn't wearing any clothes. Josh is having a flashback. But they could, yeah. I was thinking maybe they're undercover because there was. Okay, so in these towns, there's no gang. I mean, there's gangs like these little losers, but there's not problems with gang activity for the most part. There is here and there. I think you hear about certain groups coming in and blah 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 because we are close to the bigger city. But for a while, there was some stuff going on. Guys with long hair used to get harassed by police back. I had regularly not crew cut, what do you call it? Caesar cut hair. Yeah, you remember that? The odd hats the RCMP wear is a campaign hat. Texas State cops wear, of course, cowboy hats. LOL. Yeah, campaign hat. That's what it's called. Well, whatever it is. Wait, the hat, like the howdy, ma'am, or like the hey, I'm a police officer and I have a plastic brim on my fabric hat.
No, like the hat.
Okay, because like
they're not cowboy hats, but
they're cowboy hat-esque.
Yeah.
They're like frisbees with like a part for your head, right? And a leather band around it. And then they wear boots to match. Like it's like a tan-ish color hat. No, not like tan, like a.
I thought they were black.
No. Their regular hats are black. And then sometimes they have like a baseball cap.
Oh my goodness.
And it says, what? Why is that funny to you?
I couldn't, for the longest time, I couldn't figure out what hats you were talking about. And I was picturing like, I don't know what they're called, but like the really tall furry black.
Oh, what the freaking British guys wear? Yeah, what is it?
I don't think they wear those.
No, that would be hilarious. What did you think I was talking
That's
about?
what I thought you were talking about.
But from which one?
Until just now when we were talking about the cowboy hat.
You thought I was meant that by cowboy hat? That looks like one of those things that like Russian ladies wear for mittens. I wouldn't have like compared that to a cowboy hat. I would have said like.
Yeah, that's why I understood you now.
Oh,
I
okay.
was confused for that whole time.
When I said frisbee, you're like, oh, okay. Beef eater hats. Oh, that's what it's called. You redid the living room. Looks good. What's between the couch and the bedroom now? Get something new. Shots. So being nosy. This is exactly how it's always been.
We have plants.
Oh, we have plants. You see all the plants. And I moved the table over here because of the sun, and then the sun got in the way, and then whatever. No, it's always been like this.
Just the plants.
Stetson? What's that? Is that a hat? Phillips screwdriver tips. That's what a Mountie hat looks like. Is that what you're saying? Or are you talking about something completely different? 10-gallon cowboy hat. English cops are called bobbies. Okay. What are their hats called? Stetson hats? Stetson is the brand name for a cowboy hat. Oh. Well, then what are we even talking about at this point? I'm talking about the cowboy hat-esque hats. They wear them like Zorro. And they have like a part for the head, obviously, and there's like a leather strap that goes on their head. And if they have like a cop or Marine Army haircut, then it looks good. But if they have like hair like me, that would look so stupid. Imagine. I don't think cops are allowed to have hair like me, actually. Unless they're narcs. Maybe they could then. Yeah. Potatoes. Frisbee with a Phillips screwdriver top. Yes. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Smokey the Bear hat. Yes, that's the hat. Park Ranger hat. Yeah. They wear that. And then they wear these hooker boots. And they wear these stupid...
I think they're riding boots stuff.
Riding boots. Whatever. And then they have like these... What are the hip pants called? Parachute pants?
Someone said what they're called.
The pants?
Yeah. Someone said, starts with a P.
Okay, what are the pants called, guys?
Oh, Jodhpurs. Jodhpur? Jodhpurs.
Jodhpurs?
Jodhpurs?
Pants are jodhpurs. What is that? Jodhpurs equal
Riding
ripper.
hat.
Why are they called that? That must be a different language. Is that Swedish? That's Icelandic, isn't it? Jodhpurs. Right? Well, wherever they got those pants from, they look stupid. They should not wear them. It looks like they're like trying to smuggle like cereal boxes in their pants. They're like, hello, do you know why I pulled you over? Would you like some cornflakes? Like, they look stupid. I don't get it at all. What? Like, whoever, okay, their dress uniforms for the RCMP? Oh, they kind of look lame because they're just like a red jacket with like a sash thing. I don't know, they look like Boy Scouts. Gold buttons and stuff. I would say military dress uniforms look pretty cool. They look sharp. Sailor ones, not so much because their pants are like this much too short. Which, by the way, why is that? Why are their pants so short? It has to be on purpose because they are all too short. The Germans wore them, and so did the Imperial officers in Star Wars. Weren't they modeled after like Nazi uniforms?
Star Wars guys?
Yeah, because they look kind of similar.
Death Star.
And the Nazis were into aliens and stuff. That makes sense that they would do that. I don't know though. Joffers were adapted from traditional clothing of the Indian subcontinent as long trousers, reaching to the ankle, snug from the calf to the ankle. Jadpriz?
Jadpriz?
It's for carrying poop. They look like giant diapers. Yeah, if you crap out of your thighs, they look so dumb. I don't understand it at all. Like, it actually blows my mind that anyone would choose to wear those.
Probably makes sense when you're riding a horse for so long.
Yeah, they ride them. They have them when they're riding a motorcycle too. They should wear assless chaps. They would look better. Way better. Actually, you know what's funny? All chaps are assless, so that's redundant. Tricks are for kids. Huh. Riding outfits have those dumb pants. Yeah, you could shoplift. You could carry your lunch in them. Flotation device? Hello, Lewis. Tradition is sometimes very dumb. Yes, it doesn't, like, if I ever get pulled over by a motorcycle cop, I'm just going to be like, bro, what's the deal with those pants? I'll probably get a stunting ticket or whatever. I'm not going to be able to not laugh. I almost always try to get out of tickets. Not always, but I often do. Depending on what it's for. If it's a speeding ticket, I usually will try. If it's like I got a seatbelt ticket, I didn't try. I was like, okay, whatever. I got a mud flap ticket. I didn't try that either. But also, I couldn't hear the freaking guy because we're right on the highway, and he was standing like behind my door. You know, like police do. They stand behind your door, and they're like, no, 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 no. I'm like, what? I'm like sticking my head out of the door, like, dude, bro, I can't hear you. And also, he was wearing a mask. That probably didn't help. And then I also got which I vlogged about, my not having a license by accident ticket, which seems kind of dumb that he would give me that ticket instead of a warning, because clearly I have a license. It's just expired. He knew.
It was expensive.
Yeah. Was it $425? Or was it $225?
Oh.
Whatever it was. Anyways, he knew, he could see that my record was fine. Like, all my tickets are like stupid things that shouldn't be laws. Except for some speeding tickets, of course. Some speeding tickets are justified, but others are not. But that's easy to argue for than against. But he could have been like, oh, hey, there's a registries right up there. Go get a new license, which I did try to do. But then they're like, oh, your license has been expired for 8 months. So, nope, can't do it here. So I had to, what did I have to do? I had to pay the ticket, obviously. Yeah. But what did I have to do to get a new license? Oh, I had to get my passport. Mm-hmm. I had to pay the ticket and then pay for the new license. Which is so stupid because I got a new picture on my license. They told me I had to go get a new picture. Why didn't they just give me the next 5 years or whatever it is? Because they were like, what did they do? I needed a new picture, so I got a new license.
Our address updated.
That's what it was. We got our address updated to this address. Yours got changed, but for some reason they didn't do mine. Yeah. I needed a new picture though, so I still got a new card. So why the frick didn't they give me also, like, hey, do you want it to last so you don't get a ticket? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it was an error. They also put the address wrong, which I tried to use to get out of the ticket at the courthouse. And she's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not like, oh, pardon me, miss. Could you let me know if I can please pay this ticket even though it's not my address? He got my address wrong, and he spelled my name wrong, too. But, no, it was right enough. And I was like, no. I hate skinny jeans. Jog furs are funny. Skinny jeans, to me, are fine. Jog furs, I hate. But anyways, we're kind of like burning the candle of this conversation from like the middle. This is getting ridiculous. This candle is not being, it's not giving off any heat or any light. Let's wrap it up. We've been on for almost 2 hours, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this conversation of ups and downs and arounds. I enjoy doing them every once in a while, so thanks for hanging out. Remember, if you ordered a frog, we be making the frogs now. This is the first one. I'm going to send her a picture unless I forget. Hopefully I don't forget, though. Anyways, see me next time, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Also, get yourself some postcards. You can see those on the Ushitat Facebook page. Thank you, Matthew, for helping us and all that jazz. You're the best, man.